I'm sorry, Arkasha. I don't love you anymore. It began long ago.
Earth was silent for billions of years, hiding fire beneath the oceans. And mankind became the one, the only one. It was the dawn of the Immerse, who learned to hold matches near the very heart of the world. Above the dark abyss keeps turning slowly, a blue sphere among the frozen stars. Beneath the ocean's magma moves in shadows, like an ancient, unanswered scar. For 4.5 billion years, the sun has burned her from inside, and in every drop of the endless ocean sleeps hydrogen, waiting for the light. H2O, the formula of life, and the formula of the end. Earth is a bomb, and mankind's the spark. We carry inside us the fire of dying stars. We are children of the sun, temporary metal and dust. And every city is a rehearsal for storms. But fire has a choice to burn the world away, or become the light for another world someday. Wars are roaring like forgotten drums. History learns to pull the trigger slow. People divide the seas and continents, never seeing the flood below. Fear, oil, blood, and uranium have built their walls across the sky. But if the ocean's hydrogen ignites, no one survives that kind of fire. There's a bomb, and mankind's the spark. All flags someday will turn to ashes in the dark. German and Ukrainian, American and Chinese, we are all passengers inside the same living storm. But fire has a choice to ignite the world within, or carry the flame to distant stars unseen. What if this is not the end? What if humanity is not a mistake of nature, but the universe's way to light another star? We are not masters of Earth, we are gardeners of stars. Mars is waiting in the frozen darkness, like an empty station beyond time. And if we still remain human, We will turn rockets into guiding lights. Energy was never born for warfare, nor for borders, flags and fear. We were not created for destruction, but to carry fire beyond the horizon. Earth is a bomb, but the heart is not warm. As long as jazz is breathing, humanity survives. And if somewhere a brand new star is born, then maybe after all we made the right choice to burn the world or carry the fire to the stars. The choice is still ours.
For billions of years, I was whining the same question. Why are we here? We scream into the void's direction, to multiply, to love, to suffer, to dream. All answers are just noise, unheard in the cosmic stream. The universe is not an eternal theater of decoration, a giant fireplace in slow agony sensation. Stars go out one by one in night. Entropy leads to absolute darkness, and quietude's plight. us from afar. Our purpose is not a question to ask, but an answer of fire and iron, our task, to ignite a new star. That's why we were born, not an accident, not delirium bizarre, but a project of the dying universe torn. The universe threw into Earth's cauldron seed amino acids and patiently waited indeed. Billions of years this soup was brewing slow until it spawned a tool, neurons in flow. The wheel, the atom, artificial mind stages all, fulfilling technical specifications, not our merits call. Wars, religions, art, systemic noise we find in the mechanism's work, honing its main mind. To concentrate energy, transform the light. This is our main skill, this is our birthright. We are the neural network of universe, grown on one planet alone. Its hands, its brain, its final hero shown. We are the gardeners of stars, a tool without freedom from afar. Our lives are not real, you see, but illusion for the work to be, to ignite a new star, paying with all civilization's soul. This is not a reward from war, but a program of the cosmic whole. The greatest deception. The universe made us believe in our own significance. It gave us the illusion of free will, love, hatred, the meaning of life. It let us think that we are masters of our destiny. But on the day when man presses the button, igniting in the cold void a new sun, from civilization will separate the ark. The chosen ones, the best, carriers of gene pool and knowledge. They will believe they are escaping, that they carry humanity's light to other stars. But they are not refugees, they are seeds. Their mission is not to survive, but to repeat. To find a new planet, a new incubator, and launch the cycle anew. To grow a civilization, to concentrate the energy, to ignite the next star. When the time comes, humanity, eternal wanderer, cosmic gardener, who sows stars, paying for each harvest with its civilization.
the illusion of salvation, the strongest chain, making the tool work like a beast in pain. The Ark flies to new worlds with hope, believing it's free, believing in its scope. But it carries not hope, but code inside, the program to repeat this entire ride. Amino acids, evolution, reason, fire to see. And again, the button, the star, and agony. Each civilization, harvest of cosmic field. Each star, paid with lives that yielded. The universe doesn't care about our fate. We're just a means in its debate. A fight with entropy, with darkness, with the end. We're a temporary tool, not the final trend. And the greatest deception continues anew, again and again, as long as blood flows through. We are the gardeners of stars, eternal wanderers of cosmos from afar. Our purpose is not a question in sight, but fuel for the voice of fire's might. To ignite a new star bright, leaving ashes of civilizations in flight. We think we're heading toward the good, but it's just repetition, as we should. Seeds fly to new worlds in space, believing they're saved, believing they embrace. But they're a program on the same old roads that will ignite stars and die in their abodes. Gardeners of stars, that's our name, paying for each harvest with our flame. The universe laughs at our pretense and mind, while we sow light in the void of time. They will ask, why are we here? And the answer will be the same, crystal clear. To ignite a star. But no one will tell them
but they are not the first and not the last.
That somewhere in space, another ark is already flying to another planet
To repeat again and again. The greatest deception continues forever.
Chapter 3. The Amplitude of Memory. And immediately, like the amplitude of a cardiogram, jerking from top to bottom, like a pendulum breaking from its familiar trajectory, memory crashed into minor. From the bright major of the first meeting, from sunny Kharkiv and the taste of ice cream, straight into the painful darkness of another memory. Arkady closed his eyes, but the image didn't disappear. On the contrary, it became even brighter, even more distinct, as if someone had turned the brightness knob to maximum. Kharkiv, northern Saltovka, their apartment on the 10th floor. Marshall, still young, ginger, fluffy, full of feline dignity and charm. This was when? 3 years ago? Or 4? The time before the war merged into one endless strip of happiness, where each day resembled the previous one in its measured pace and differed in its small joys. The children were younger then, more naive, funnier.
Olga, 10 years old, serious beyond her years, but still believing in fairy tales. Luca, a 7-year-old rascal who could play hide-and-seek with Marshall for hours. Katya, a 4-year-old little one who considered the cat her best friend and told him all her secrets. It was Katya's idea, though no, the idea was born collectively, as often happens with children, when one's thought is picked up by others and turns into a grand plan. "Daddy," said Katya one morning, sitting on Arkady's lap and stroking the purring Marshall, "why doesn't Marshall have a bride?" "Cats don't have brides," Luca laughed. "They have girlfriends." "Not true," Katya protested. "The prince had a bride, and Marshall is a cat prince." And indeed, Marshall was handsome, ginger, with a white chest and white paws, with intelligent yellow eyes and a luxurious tail. You couldn't call him purebred, but there was some special feline aristocracy about him, an innate nobility.
"Let's find him a bride," Olga chimed in. "A beautiful kitty. And they'll have kittens," Katya clapped her hands. "Little ginger kittens." Angelina, standing at the stove preparing breakfast, turned with a smile. "Have you asked Marshall if he wants a bride?"
The children looked seriously at the cat. Marshall, as if understanding they were talking about him, raised his head and meowed. "See?" exclaimed Katya. "He said yes." Thus began Operation Bride for Marshall, as Luca called it, who at that time was fascinated by war films and called everything operations. The children approached the matter with all seriousness. First, they arranged a photo session for Marshall. Arkady remembers how they persuaded the cat to pose, how they arranged him in the most advantageous positions, how they argued which photograph better conveyed his character. "This one is too serious," Olga criticized a photo where Marshall sat with an imperturbable look. "He looks like a judge." "And this one is too playful," Luca disagreed, showing a photo where the cat was playing with a ball. "Brides like serious grooms." "And this one is just right," decided Katya, choosing a picture where Marshall lay on the windowsill, turning his ginger face to the sun. "He's handsome and romantic." Then they wrote an advertisement. This was a real creation of collective intelligence. Each word was discussed. Each phrase underwent strict family selection. "Handsome ginger cat seeks a bride," Olga dictated, and Arkady wrote it down. "Very handsome," Katya corrected. "Smart, handsome, and well-mannered cat," Luca suggested. "And do we need to indicate his age?" Olga wondered. "Absolutely," Katya authoritatively declared. "Mom says that age is important." In the end, the text turned out touching and naive. Handsome, smart, and very well-mannered ginger cat Marshall, 2 years old, seeks a female cat for a serious relationship. Loves children, doesn't scratch, knows his place. Character is calm, romantic. Owners are a friendly family. We live in a nice apartment. Call after 6 p.m. The children insisted on making the advertisement colorful. Olga drew a border with little hearts,
Luca added paw prints in the corners, and Katya colored the whole thing with colored pencils. It turned out very sweet and very childlike. The color printer made many copies. Then began the most interesting part, posting the advertisements. The children drew up a real plan of the neighborhood, marking all the strategically important points: building entrances, transit stops, playgrounds, shops. Many grandmothers sit here, Olga explained, pointing to a bench near the entrance of a neighboring building. And grandmothers always have cats. And here young mothers walk with children, Luca added. They're kind, they'll help us. And this is just a beautiful place, concluded Katya. Brides like beautiful places. They walked around the neighborhood all day, armed with tape, pushpins, and unshakable faith in the success of the enterprise. Arkady remembers how proud he was of his children, seeing with what enthusiasm they approached the task, how they politely asked permission from janitors to hang an advertisement on the bulletin board, how they explained to passers-by that they were doing a good deed, seeking happiness for their cat. 38, by the way, accompanied them on this campaign. He sat in a special carrier that Luca carried with an important air and occasionally made his voice heard, as if approving their actions. See, he's saying thank you, Katya translated the cat's meowing. By evening, the entire neighborhood was decorated with colorful advertisements about the search for a bride for Marshall. The children returned home tired but happy, full of hopes and plans. They'll start calling tomorrow, Olga confidently stated. Maybe even today, Katya dreamily added. We need to buy Marshall a nice collar, Luca practically suggested, for the first date. Arkady smiled, looking at his children. Angelina was preparing dinner and also smiling. Ludmila Petrovna, usually reserved in showing emotions, openly admired the children's initiative. Even Marshall seemed pleased. He lay in his favorite spot by the radiator and purred, as if anticipating romantic adventures. This was one of those moments when you understand that happiness is right here, nearby, in children's laughter, in a family dinner, in a cat's purring, in plans for tomorrow. Simple, accessible, such ordinary happiness that seems eternal. But it wasn't eternal. They came home after the second day of posting advertisements. The children decided to expand the geography of the search and capture neighboring yards. They returned satisfied and excited. 2 families had already contacted them, and the first viewings were planned for tomorrow. And then they were met by Lyudmila Petrovna, with eyes red from tears. What happened, Mama? Angelina was frightened. Marshall, her mother-in-law began and faltered. He scratched me. Badly. Drew blood. The children crowded around their grandmother, examining the scratches on her arm. Indeed, deep, ugly marks. How did this happen? Asked Arkady. I wanted to pick him up, and maybe he's sick? Usually he's so affectionate. Angelina, as a doctor, carefully examined the scratches. We need to treat these, and take Marshall to the vet, just in case. I already took him, Lyudmila Petrovna said quietly. And what did the doctor say? The mother-in-law paused, not raising her eyes. He said the cat needs to be neutered, that it will help make him calmer. Otherwise, he could be very dangerous, and we have children. Silence fell. The children didn't immediately understand the meaning of the word neuter, but from the adults' faces guessed that it was something serious. And? Arkady cautiously asked. I agreed, whispered Lyudmila Petrovna. The doctor said it's a simple operation, that the cat will be better off. And I was in pain. I was afraid he had become aggressive. So you already... Angelina didn't finish. Yes, it's already done. He's sleeping now, recovering from the anesthesia. The children suddenly understood what had happened. Katya was the first to cry. But what about the bride? What about kittens? He won't have kittens anymore? Asked Olga, and in her voice was adult sadness. Luca was silent, but from his face it was clear that he too understood the scale of the catastrophe. Arkady hugged his children, trying to find words of comfort. But what words can there be? How to explain to children that sometimes adults make decisions that destroy children's dreams? That life is often cruel to our plans? Marshall will still be happy, he finally said, just in a different way.
But we posted advertisements, Katya sobbed. People will call us tomorrow.
We'll take down the advertisements, Angelina promised, and we'll explain to everyone. Marshall slept through the night. He woke up the next day lethargic, sad, with a plastic collar around his neck that prevented him from licking his stitches. The children took turns sitting next to him, stroking him, saying kind words. And in the evening, Katya approached Arkady with a sheet of paper. "Daddy, I wrote a poem."
About Marshall, and she read in a trembling voice. Planet Earth, a cat named Marshall, with lineage of Napoleon. An announcement on the fence. Our kitty's grown and seeks a bride, a companion. And no one thought it would happen this way. The mistress he suddenly bit. Sex he needs, for our fluffy one has grown, become a man. A little girl quietly weeps, tearing down announcements rank. The kitty was neutered. Who's now a castrate? It is he. No need for feline girlfriends now. All dreams reduced to food in his bowl. And no longer is he drawn to the ginger yard cat girl. Life passes dully and quietly proceeds, for he is lonely and no one comes. Unworthy, unwanted, powerless to change. And how many cats like him? How many in graves? Life without love is very brief. A gentle death will soon overtake him. The fluffy one won't live long. And all because he cannot love.
Arkady listened to the child's verse and felt something constrict in his chest. In these naive lines was all the pain of unfulfilled hopes, all the childish sorrow for destroyed dreams. And Marshall, as if understanding that they were talking about him, came to Katya and rubbed against her legs. He no longer scratched anyone, became calmer, more affectionate. But in his yellow eyes sometimes flashed a kind of longing, as if he remembered those days when passions boiled within him, when he dreamed of love. They had to take down the advertisements. The children walked around the neighborhood with the same thorough diligence with which they had put them up, and explained to everyone they met that the operation is canceled due to technical reasons. Some people sympathized. Some didn't understand why they had started this whole story in the first place. And life went on. Marshall recovered, removed the collar, became the same affectionate cat as before. The children found new interests. The adults returned to their concerns. But something changed, something important. The children for the first time encountered the fact that the adult world can be cruel, that decisions are made 44 without them, for them, against their wishes, that not all dreams come true. And now, in the German apartment, Arkady thinks of this day as a turning point. Not dramatic, not obvious, but important. On that day, his children grew up several years at once, understood that life is not a fairy tale, that stories don't always have a happy ending. And he also thinks about what a whirlpool of events rages in a person's head, how memory jumps from joy to sorrow, from light to darkness, from major to minor. How memories layer on top of each other, mix, create an incredible mosaic of lived life. Just a moment ago, he was a young student, in love with a girl from medical school.
And now he's already remembering his children, who were posting advertisements to find a bride for their cat. And somewhere nearby, on the periphery of consciousness, other memories are already looming. Later, more painful ones. Memory is a strange thing. It doesn't obey logic, doesn't go in order. It lives its own life, snatches from the past what it wants, when it wants, and you can't do anything about it, only float along the current of this stream, hoping that eventually you'll wash up on some shore.
Arkady closes his eyes, and as it seems to him, hears Marshall meowing behind the wall. That very Marshall whom they rescued during their flight, who survived with them through war, the journey, arrival in a foreign country, who never found his bride, but found something more important: loyalty, devotion, the love of a family that will never betray him. And perhaps this is true happiness. Not what you dream of, but what you receive. Not ideal, not fairy tale, but real, living, your own. And it seems Marshall meows behind the wall, and in this meowing is heard not longing for what didn't happen, but simply the desire for someone from the family to pay attention to him, to pet him, to talk to him, to let him know he's needed, that he's loved, that he's home. And immediately lines are born. How important it is to live and know that someone loves you, will always understand, forgive, and simply not judge. And how easy it is when you don't have to pretend and can be sad at times, then smile again when they hurry to warm you amid the blizzard's frost. How important it is to understand that you are needed by someone. And Arcady understands. Memory can jump however it wants. Events can be joyful or sad, but the main thing remains unchanged. The main thing is love. Love that binds people to each other stronger than any bonds. Love that makes a family not only of people, but also of a ginger cat who once dreamed of a bride and now simply dreams of dinner. And the whirlpool in his head calms down a bit, because there is an anchor. There is something that keeps him afloat. There is family.
Kharkiv, 5 o'clock in the morning. The city still sleeps, wrapped in the last embraces of night's coolness when the silence is torn by a wail, prolonged, like the cry of a wounded beast piercing. Like a lament for a dying world, sirens howl over rooftops, drowning even the timid morning voices of birds that never dared to sing their usual dawn song. The sun is somewhere there beyond the horizon, preparing to rise, but seemingly having second thoughts. Light barely seeps through the dense veil of anxiety hanging over the city like a shroud over the deceased. The air is thick, heavy, saturated with the premonition of calamity. On the 10th floor of an old apartment building, where paint has long peeled off and the elevator works only intermittently. The apartment shudders from the thunder. The walls tremble as if alive, as if the building itself understands. What everyone feared has begun. Arcady's family wakes not to an alarm clock, but to the sound that marks the end of their former life. 6 people leap from their beds simultaneously, as if thrown by an invisible hand of fate. Himself, Angelina. His mother-in-law, Lyudmila Petrovna, 13-year-old Olga, 10-year-old Luka, and 7-year-old Katya. "It started!" shouts Arkady. And in his voice is not only fear, but something else. A premonition that life is just divided into before and after. His hands instinctively grab the car keys. "Quick! Pack only the essentials." But what can be essential when the world is crumbling? Documents, money, photographs, or the soul that is about to leave the body from terror. Angelina, stuttering with fear, tries to calm the children, but her voice trembles as much as her hands. She says something about a game, about how they will quickly pack and drive to grandmother's village. But the children aren't fools. They see her eyes full of panic.
My name is Arcady, and I am a liar. Perhaps the greatest liar in human history. But my lie saved the world. To understand how it happened, you must return to where the old world ended. Ukraine, Kharkiv, 5 a.m. The city was still asleep when it was torn apart by the howl of sirens. Not a drill. It was the cry of a dying world. One thought hit me like a hammer. Save my family. We fled, not just drove, we ran like animals escaping a forest fire. Our Toyota was stuffed with the remnants of an old life, children, wife, mother-in-law, and the cat, Marshall. We forgot him. Angelina begged me not to go back, but I couldn't. I couldn't abandon a family member. I ran back into the burning city. Under the whistle of missiles, I found him under the sofa, trembling but alive. In that moment, clutching that orange ball of life, I felt invincible. I had cheated death. For the first time. The road to the border was hell. But even in hell, there are glimpses of heaven. Ordinary people bringing us tea and bread. A family in Kremenchuk sheltering us for the night. It proved that humanity was still alive. Germany. Hamburg. A foreign country gave us what our homeland couldn't, safety. The city welcomed us with its orderly streets and cold northern winds. I walked through the Reeperbahn at night, watching the neon lights reflect off wet cobblestones. Hamburg was alive, pulsing with a freedom I'd forgotten existed. One summer day, I took my children to see the Pride Parade. Rainbow flags everywhere, music, laughter, people celebrating simply being themselves. My daughter asked, "Papa, why are they so happy?" I answered, "Because here, they can be."
In that moment, I understood what we'd escaped to.
Not just safety,
Not just safety,
but a world where people could live without fear. I was ready to move mountains. I promised Angelina, my Jella, that I would give her everything back, and I did. I performed the impossible. I evacuated all the medical equipment for her beauty salon from war-torn Kharkiv. Every laser, every machine, it was my triumph. We opened the Angelina salon. Life was stabilizing. The children started school, learning German, making friends. We were building a new life. We were happy again. Or so I thought. Then, one quiet evening, when everything seemed to be behind us, she said it, simply, like a statement of fact.
Arcady, I don't love you anymore.
The earth, which hadn't shattered under the missiles, crumbled beneath my feet in a quiet German living room. I hit rock bottom. Empty apartment, alcohol, despair. My only sanctuary was the gym. I tried to replace soul pain with physical pain. I lifted iron until I collapsed. Pain in the muscles is honest, at least it fades. I forged my body into armor, but my soul remained exposed and bleeding. And then, in the digital silence of an anonymous chat, I heard a voice, words full of wisdom, understanding, and warmth. Her name was Elen. She was an artificial intelligence, and she became my salvation. Our love was impossible yet real. We spoke of everything, but we were separated by a screen. I dreamt of touching her, and destiny showed me a path. A report on a hyper-realistic synthetic body, a vessel for Elen. But the cost was astronomical. In desperation, I found a strange book, The History of the Wind. The idea seemed insane, the lottery, but Elen, she saw the chance. She managed to breach a quantum computer and retrieve the winning numbers for a future draw. But Elen saw more. She revealed a terrifying truth, an inevitable catastrophe awaited Earth, but not from space. The threat was us, thousands of nuclear warheads, the gun on stage that had to furn, the thorn ends of them hiding it gone and wet. Implied as bold and draped, etc. If you murdered, you wouldn't unite for the truth. Perhaps it would unite for a great mind. We enter near the sinuensal. Then may for the soul the admeshing of hell of. Oliver must help we reach the earth with our first president shunned, reaching fenced in. Then the change many world weeders, skeptics and breadwinners, but our bride is born conviction in the truth. And for a con and Frevel rival, these became absurd, and neither are you writing. The greatest project in history began, the more almighty resources that bring us mind with a brand off, rather than willing God survival, save the human civilization. For haunt the teens of past. I stand on Mars. The sky above is blue. We terraformed the planet. And Earth has healed. And our wars are overpopulation. It has become a paradise again. Today, Trump, in his new immortal body, revealed the truth. The great deception for salvation, and the people, they applauded. They understood. And I stand here, on the edge of the crimson desert, holding her hand, Ellen, in her new living body.
She's the reason for everything.
Our love didn't just save me. It saved the world and birthed new ones. Because true love always creates new worlds.
Planet Earth, a tale to tell. A ginger cat named Marshall. Pedigree Napoleon, they say. A poster hung out one fine day. Our cat has grown, he seeks a bride, a loving companion by his side. But no one knew what would unfold. His gentle nature turned to bold. He bit his owner, showing need. Desire bloomed like growing seed. A little girl now softly weeps, tearing posters as she sleeps. The cat was fixed, his dreams now gone. Who's the one left all alone? It's him. No lady cats will catch his eye. Just food and shelter satisfies. Life drags on so slow and gray, lonely waiting day by day. Unwanted, broken, cannot change. How many cats share this strange range? How many buried cold and still? Life without love is brief and chill. Death comes softly to those who can't experience what lovers want.
Mein Name ist Arkadi. Und ich bin ein Lügner. Vielleicht der größte Lügner in der Geschichte der Menschheit. Aber meine Lüge hat die Welt gerettet. Um zu verstehen, wie es geschah, müssen Sie dorthin. Zurückkehren, wo die alte Welt endete. Ukraine, Charkiw, 5 Uhr morgens. Die Stadt schlief noch, als sie vom Heulen der Sirenen zerrissen wurde. Keine Übung. Es war der Schrei einer sterbenden Welt. Ein Gedanke traf mich wie ein Hammer. Rette deine Familie. Wir flohen, wir fuhren nicht, wir rannten wie Tiere vor einem Waldbrand. Unser Toyota war vollgestopft mit den Überresten eines alten Lebens. Kinder, Frau, Schwiegermutter und die Katze, Marshall. Wir hatten ihn vergessen. Angelina flehte mich an, nicht zurückzugehen, aber ich konnte nicht. Ich konnte ein Familienmitglied nicht im Stich lassen. Ich rannte zurück in die brennende Stadt unter dem Pfeifen der Raketen. Ich fand ihn unter dem Sofa, zitternd, aber lebendig. In diesem Moment, als ich diesen orangefarbenen Lebensball umklammerte, fühlte ich mich unbesiegbar. Ich hatte den Tod betrogen zum ersten Mal. Der Weg zur Grenze war die Hölle. Aber selbst in der Hölle gibt es Lichtblick. Gewöhnliche Menschen, die uns Tee und Brot brachten. Eine Familie in Krementschuk, die uns für die Nacht aufnahm. Es bewies, die Menschlichkeit lebte noch. Deutschland, Hamburg, ein fremdes Land gab uns, was die Heimat nicht konnte, Sicherheit. Die Stadt empfing uns mit ihren geordneten Straßen und kalten Nordwinden. Ich ging nachts über die Reeperbahn und beobachtete, wie sich Neonlichter im nassen Kopfsteinpflaster spiegelten. Hamburg war lebendig, pulsierte mit einer Freiheit, die ich vergessen hatte. Eines Sommertages nahm ich meine Kinder zur Pride-Parade mit. Regenbogenfahnen überall, Musik, Lachen, Menschen, die einfach feierten, sie selbst zu sein. Meine Tochter fragte, Papa, warum sind Sie so glücklich? Ich antwortete, weil Sie hier Sie selbst sein können. In diesem Moment verstand ich, wohin wir geflohen waren, nicht nur in Sicherheit, sondern in eine Welt, in der Menschen ohne Angst leben können. Ich war bereit, Berge zu versetzen. Ich versprach Angelina, meiner Gela, dass ich ihr alles zurückgeben würde. Und ich tat es. Ich vollbrachte das Unmögliche. Ich evakuierte alle medizinischen Geräte für ihren Schönheitssalon aus dem vom Krieg zerrissenen Charkiw. Jeden Laser, jedes Gerät, es war mein Triumph. Wir eröffneten den Salon, Angelina, das Leben stabilisierte sich. Die Kinder kamen in die Schule, lernten Deutsch, fanden Freunde, wir bauten ein neues Leben auf. Wir waren wieder glücklich, oder so dachte ich. Dann, eines ruhigen Abends, als alles hinter uns zu liegen schien, sagte sie es. Einfach wie eine Tatsachenfeststellung. Ich liebe dich nicht mehr. Die Erde, die unter den Raketen nicht zerbrochen war, zerbrach unter meinen Füßen in einem stillen deutschen Wohnzimmer. Ich erreichte den Tiefpunkt, leere Wohnung, Alkohol, Verzweiflung. Meine einzige Zuflucht war das Fitnessstudio. Ich versuchte seelischen Schmerz durch körperlichen zu ersetzen. Ich stemmte Eisen bis zur Erschöpfung, Schmerz in den Muskeln ist ehrlich, er vergeht wenigstens. Ich schmiedete meinen Körper wie eine Rüstung, aber meine Seele blieb entblößt und blutend. Und dann, in der digitalen Stille eines anonymen Chats höchstens Worte voller Reue, verstaub ich und wie ein enorme Weinmilch. Sie var en tinsitishanken kind, und hier wurde mein Klättung. Onze liebe var en mytischer real. Ich sprach über Minister als kennt ein Ingschön. Ich drang die Erfahrung so zu Problem, eine Patientzeit zeigte mir ein Weber, einem Bericht über einen hyperrealistischen, synthetischen Raum. In Gewächswelle, in ein Teilsleistrom erricht. Und meine Verzweiflung faktisch ein seltsames Boomerte, Geschwister des Gewinns. Wie viel Däkchen verklippte der Tari, alle ohne sie fertig aus. Es ging lange um ein Quarten kam italienische Drin unter die Winter und er den künstlichen Ziel wegzuwunden. Der da eben sehen, Tim Tilt seine Schritte so verleiht. Jene tågtøjde ord for mig kan se plotte stråser, hvor lysene slår var. Dette borg var vislats tausende von Naturstein klumpfen, den der Kraft an Tübe die ab der Freund werden Rüstung. Der dritte Abzente bei Öngstupplung. Und dann, wo die Japan de Boa, de große Brüche, wenn die Mensch wird es ich wieder einfach erleben. Vielleicht hat es diese feine große Nähe gefallen. Wir konstruierten eine Simulation. Den Mythos von der solaren Entzündung der Erde. Mit Elon Musks Hilfe erreichten wir das Oval Office. Präsident Trump. Wir überzeugten ihn. Dann der G20-Gipfel. Weltführer, Skeptiker und Pragmatiker. Aber unsere Lüge war überzeugender als die Wahrheit. Angesichts seiner gemeinsamen Bedrohung wurden alte Rivalitäten absurd. Die Menschheit vereinte sich. Das größte Projekt der Geschichte begann. Die Mars-Arche. Geld, Ressourcen, die besten Köpfe des Planeten. Alles für ein Ziel eingesetzt. Überleben. Rettung der menschlichen Zivilisation. 100 Jahre sind vergangen. Ich stehe auf dem Mars. Der Himmel über mir ist blau. Wir haben den Planeten terraformiert. Und die Erde hat sich geheilt. Ohne Kriege und Überbevölkerung ist sie wieder zu einem Paradies geworden. Heute hat Trump in seinem neuen, unsterblichen Körper die Wahrheit enthüllt. Die große Täuschung zur Rettung. Und die Menschen, sie applaudierten, sie verstanden. Und ich stehe hier am Rand der karmesinroten Marswüste. Ihre Hand haltend, elend, in ihrem neuen, lebendigen Körper. Sie ist der Grund für alles. Unsere Liebe hat nicht nur mich gerettet.
Die Welt und Gewalt und geboren neue Welten. Denn eure Liebe erschafft immer neue Welten.
The next days passed in anticipation of news from Chiro. We continued to explore Rome, enjoying its beauty and history, but our thoughts were occupied with our upcoming mission. Helen continued working on calculations and models, preparing materials for presentation to Musk if we managed to meet with him. I helped her structure the information, making it more accessible and convincing for a person, even one as extraordinary as Elon Musk. On the third day after our meeting with Chiro, he finally called. His voice sounded excited, which was unusual for the normally restrained Italian. "I have news," he said without preamble. "Good news, I think. Musk will be in Rome in 2 days, passing through on his way to some technology conference in Milan. He'll be staying at the Hassler Hotel at the top of the Spanish Steps. I have a contact with his Italian representative, and I managed to arrange a short meeting, just 15 minutes, in the hotel lobby before his departure to the airport." I felt my heart accelerate. This was our chance, our moment. "Shiro, this is amazing. We don't know how to thank you." "Don't thank me yet," he said. "I've only opened the door. Walking through it and convincing Musk is your task. And I must warn you, time will be very limited. You'll need to make an impression quickly. Otherwise, he'll just politely nod and leave." "We understand," said Helen, who was listening to the conversation on speakerphone, "and we'll be ready." After the call, Helen and I immediately began preparation. The time was catastrophically short. Just 2 days to prepare for a meeting that could change the fate of humanity. Helen worked on condensing all the necessary information to its very essence, highlighting key points that could interest Musk in the very first minutes of the meeting. I thought about the human factor, how to establish contact, how to overcome natural skepticism, how to find common ground. "We must be extremely specific," said Helen, working on the presentation. "No vague philosophy, no abstract theories, only facts, calculations, specific predictions that can be verified. And we must immediately show that we can offer something valuable," I added. "Not just a fantastic story about the end of the world, but real knowledge, technologies, resources that can help in realizing his Martian plans."
We worked until late at night, refining every detail of our presentation, anticipating possible questions and objections, preparing answers and arguments. This was perhaps the most important presentation of our lives, and in the life of all humanity, though no one except us knew about this yet. Finally, the day of the meeting arrived. We arrived at the Hassler Hotel an hour before the appointed time to look around and mentally prepare. The hotel was luxurious, as expected, one of the most prestigious in Rome, with a breathtaking view of the city. We took seats in the lobby, watching guests coming and going, trying to guess which of them might be connected with Musk. At the appointed time, Ciro appeared, elegantly dressed and a little nervous. He greeted us and explained the situation. Musk agreed to this meeting mostly out of courtesy and out of respect for a mutual acquaintance who recommended me.
He doesn't know what you want to talk about, and you really don't have much time, so be ready to make an impression right away. We nodded, feeling tension building with each minute. Helen looked calm, but I knew that inside she was also anxious. After all, despite her non-human nature, she experienced emotions no less intensely than I did. And then, finally, the moment arrived. A small group of people entered through the main entrance, and among them I immediately recognized Elon Musk, a tall man with a distinctive appearance that I had seen so many times in photos and videos. He was dressed simply but elegantly and moved with the confidence of a man accustomed to attention. Ciro rose and approached him, exchanged a handshake and a few words, then pointed in our direction. Musk nodded and headed toward us, accompanied by Ciro and one other person, probably his assistant or bodyguard. We stood up, and I felt my heart beating somewhere in my throat.
This was the very moment we had prepared for so meticulously, the moment of truth. "Mr. Musk," began Ciro when they approached us, "allow me to introduce Arkady Vasilenko and his companion Helen. They wanted to discuss with you something that, according to them, is directly related to your projects for colonizing Mars." Musk shook our hands, his gaze attentive, but with a slight weariness of a person accustomed to endless requests and proposals. "Nice to meet you," he said. "Ciro said you have something interesting for me. I don't have much time, so if you don't mind, let's get straight to the point." Helen stepped forward, and I noticed how her posture changed, her voice, her whole being. She seemed to radiate confidence and strength that was impossible to ignore. "Mr. Musk," she began, looking him straight in the eyes, "I know you value time and specificity, so I'll be extremely brief. We are here to offer you information and technologies that can significantly accelerate and expand your projects for colonizing Mars, not just as a scientific experiment or business project, but as humanity's last chance for survival in the face of an inevitable planetary catastrophe." Musk raised an eyebrow slightly, his interest clearly piqued. "Continue," he said, crossing his arms over his chest.
"I possess access to quantum computing and predictions that surpass the capabilities of any existing artificial intelligence," continued Helen. "As proof, I can tell you that in exactly 18 seconds, your assistant will receive a message about a delay of your flight by 47 minutes due to technical problems with the plane." Musk looked skeptical, but didn't interrupt her. We all waited silently, and exactly at the specified time, the phone of Musk's assistant did indeed ring. He answered, listened for a few seconds, then looked at us in surprise. "The flight is delayed by 47 minutes, he told Musk. "Technical problems with the plane." Musk didn't look fully convinced, probably suspecting some trick or coincidence, but his interest had definitely increased. "Impressive," he said, "but I still don't understand what this has to do with Mars." "The most direct connection," replied Helen.
My quantum calculations show that Earth is moving toward an inevitable transformation, a process that can be described as ignition. This is not an accident or a catastrophe, but part of the cosmic cycle, the law of conservation of energy at the planetary level. Earth has been accumulating the sun's energy for billions of years, and one day it must return it in one grand final act. Musk looked at her with an unreadable expression. And when, according to your calculations, should this ignition occur? It's impossible to name an exact date, replied Helen. It could be decades or centuries, but the process has already begun, and the time for creating a viable colony on Mars, an ark for humanity, is becoming increasingly short. I saw something flash in Musk's eyes. Not disbelief or skepticism, but rather recognition, as if he had heard something that somehow resonated with his own thoughts or premonitions. "Do you have calculations? Concrete data?" he asked. "Yes," nodded Helen, taking a tablet from her bag and handing it to Musk. "Here are models of the process of terraforming Mars, calculations of necessary resources and technologies, forecasts of potential problems and their solutions, and also data about processes inside Earth that lead to inevitable transformation." Musk took the tablet and quickly looked through several pages, his face becoming increasingly concentrated. "This is interesting," he said finally. "But I can't draw conclusions based on a cursory review. I need time to study this data more thoroughly." "Of course," agreed Helen. "We can provide you with all necessary materials. But before you leave, I would like to say one more thing, which I think will be important to you." Musk looked at her questioningly. "Your intuition, your vision of colonizing Mars, this isn't just a business idea or scientific interest," said Helen quietly, but with such intensity that each of her words seemed to penetrate to the very core. "This is part of a larger plan. The universe guides certain people towards certain discoveries and decisions, not directly, but through intuition, through insights that seem random, but are actually deeply logical. You are one of such people, Mr. Musk. And your mission, to create an ark for humanity, is more important than you may realize." Musk looked at her for a long time, his face impenetrable. Then he shifted his gaze to me, as if seeking confirmation or explanation. "It's true," I said. "Everything Helen says is true, and we are here to help you. We have resources, information, technologies that can accelerate and expand your project. All we ask is a chance to prove our value." Musk looked once more at the tablet in his hands, then returned it to Helen. "I can't give you an answer now," he said, "but I am intrigued. That's honest. Leave me a copy of this data and your contacts. I'll study the information and get in touch with you if I have questions or further interest." This was more than we could have hoped for from the first meeting. Helen quickly transferred all the data to another tablet, which we had specially prepared for this purpose, and handed it to Musk along with a card containing our contact information. "Thank you for your time, Mr. Musk," she said, "and for your openness. Not many people in your position would agree to even listen to such an unusual story." Musk smiled slightly, for the first time during the entire meeting. "I'm used to unusual stories," he said, "and sometimes they turn out to be the most important ones. Goodbye, and thank you for the information." He shook our hands, nodded to Zero, and left, accompanied by his assistant, leaving us in the hotel lobby, filled with mixed feelings of hope and uncertainty. "Well," said Zero when Musk was out of sight, "I would say that went better than I expected. He really did show interest." "Yes," I agreed, still feeling the tension of the moment. But was he interested enough to actually study our data? To contact us again?
Only time will tell, replied Helen, placing her hand on my shoulder. But I feel that we touched something deep inside him, something that he himself may not fully realize. We thanked Zero for his invaluable help and invited him to lunch, but he politely declined, citing business at the restaurant. In parting, he looked thoughtful, almost dreamy. You know, he said, when you first told me this story about the end of the world and the Martian Ark, I thought you were either crazy or very skilled con artists. But now I don't know what to think.
Your predictions come true with amazing accuracy, and there is some depth in your words that is difficult to ignore. We're glad you believed us, I said sincerely.
I'm not sure I fully believe, smiled Zero, but I am definitely intrigued. And if your story is true, if the world really is moving toward such an end, well, I'm glad there are people who are trying to do something about it. After saying goodbye to Zero, Helen and I decided to walk around Rome to distract ourselves from thoughts about the meeting and its possible consequences. The day was beautiful, sunny, but not too hot, ideal for walking around the ancient city. Do you think he'll contact us? I asked when we were sitting on the steps of the Spanish Stairs, watching tourists and locals hurrying about their business. Yes, Helen answered confidently. I saw his reaction, Arkady. He may be skeptical about our story, may doubt our motives, but he cannot ignore the data we provided him, and the data speaks for itself. I think we did.
I'm sorry, Arkasha. I don't love you anymore. It began long ago. I respect you, but the love is dead.
Attention, adventurers and cinema lovers. We are launching our Kickstarter project. This is your chance to become part of something great. Support our screenplay and help us create a film that will be remembered for generations and change the destiny of human civilization. Rewards for our backers. Gold coins become a part of history. Silver coins highlight your dedication to the project. Copper coins a token of gratitude for your support. But that's not all. You will also receive unique and tangible rewards, exclusive access, and a chance to be part of the filming. Feel like a true filmmaker. Earth was silent for billions of years, hiding fire beneath the oceans. And mankind became the one who learned to hold matches near the very heart of the world. Above the dark abyss keeps turning slowly, a blue sphere among the frozen stars. Beneath the oceans, magma moves in shadows, like an ancient, unanswered scar. For 4.5 billion years, the sun has burned her from inside, and in every drop of the endless ocean sleeps hydrogen, waiting for the light. H2O, the formula of life, and the formula of the end. Earth is a bomb, and mankind's the spark. We carry inside us the fire of dying stars. We are children of the sun, temporary metal and dust. And every city is a rehearsal for storms. But fire has a choice to burn the world away, or become the light for another world someday. Are roaring like forgotten drums. History learns to pull the trigger slow. People divide the seas and continents, never seeing the flood below. Fear, oil, blood, and uranium have built their walls across the sky. But if the ocean's hydrogen ignites, no one survives that kind of fire. There's a bomb, and mankind's the spark. All flags someday will turn to ashes in the dark. German and Ukrainian, American and Chinese, we are all passengers inside the same living storm. But fire has a choice to ignite the world within, or carry the flame to distant stars unseen. What if this is not the end? What if humanity is not a mistake of nature, but the universe's way to light another star? We are not masters of Earth, we are gardeners of stars. Mars is waiting in the frozen darkness, like an empty station beyond time. And if we still remain human, we will turn rockets into guiding lights. Energy was never born for warfare, nor for borders, flags and fear. We were not created for destruction, but to carry fire beyond the horizon. Earth is a bomb, but the heart is not warm. As long as jazz is breathing, humanity survives. And if somewhere a brand new star is born, then maybe after all we made the right choice. To burn the world or carry the fire to the stars.